Now the sequence implementation. We'll be defining two sequence classes, one for AXI and one for OCP. The AXI sequence will randomize n number of AXI transactions and send them. In the same way, the OCP sequence will send say n number of OCP transactions. And in the AXI sequence, which is extending from the UVM sequence, and it is parameterized with the AXI transaction type. And after the factory registration macro, we are declaring the members of this class. So here the members are a master ID and number of transactions. So this will just tell how many transactions to send in a loop. And the master ID is added because you wanted to identify which master, whether the master 1 or master 2 is sending these sequences. If the sequence is running in a sequence, the master 1, then all the transactions need to be generated with the ID from 0 to 7. And if the sequence is running in the master 2, then the ID field of the individual transactions should be from 8 to 15. And in the body function, what we are doing is, in a loop we are randomizing transactions and sending them. So first is we are getting a name for the individual transaction with the loop by using the loop variable, and we are creating the transaction object, which is the AXI transaction TXN, using the factory registration macro. And after calling the start item, we are randomizing this transaction within an assert statement. So just for simplicity, here I'm always sending right transactions to make this explanation more simple. Otherwise you don't need to add this constraint here. Now once you randomize the transaction, all the fields including the ID is totally random in nature, but here you want to add two constraints. First is you wanted to make sure that the ID field is either from 0 to 7 or from 8 to 15 depending on the master on which it is on which the sequence is running. And the second is the randomness should be cyclic in nature. This part of code is to get a cyclic random numbers between the 0 to 7 and 8 to 15 always. And after getting these random numbers, we are assigning the random number, the cyclic random number, to txn.id field based on the master ID. So after randomizing and making the transaction ready, we are calling the finish item function, which will actually send the transaction to the sequencer. So after this, we are just printing an information that a transaction is sent, and we are not waiting for any response from the driver back. So this is a very simple sequence which will send n number of transactions repeatedly, one by one. Now in the same way, the OCP sequence is also written. It's again a very simple sequence. In a loop, it is sending n number of transactions. It is not even randomizing the transactions because the driver is written in such a way that the driver will wait for an actual transaction to come from in the interface to fill the item done in its own port. Thus, by sending n number of transactions, we are making sure that n number of transactions are actually getting in the DUT interface.